Hello and welcome to another Streaming Parson Dig Delight Direct Drive DJ video. Today we are talking about Call of Artemis' canary, Amano Airi. Since Call of Artemis' appearances are quite scarce, Airi is mostly known as the polite and thoughtful employee of the frequently visited Cafe Vinyl. She often stands on the sidelines watching the younger units. As much as she loves seeing the main cast grow, she was meant for far more than an observer role in D4DJ's narrative. While there were struggles at first, she finds herself in the limelight as Groovy Mixed evolved. Airi is introduced in First Mix Episode 2, gently welcoming Happy Around's Ray to Cafe Vinyl. At first glance, she should look very familiar, as she is actually one of the singers in Maho's childhood flashback, and the passage of time did not change her appearance all that much. She was a direct inspiration to the members of Happy Around, and even years later, her presence cannot help but continue supporting them as they grew. Their rapid growth throughout First Mix eventually gets them invited to the recently revived D4 Fest. Their participation in D4 Fest opens up new possibilities for them, including the chance to go professional. When this creates tension for the unit, Airi cannot help but step off the sidelines and take action. Road to D4 Fest 2, Happy Around, brings up an important question in relation to their place in the DJ scene. After failing an audition to be contracted for anime music, they question if they need to be more adaptive to audience taste in their music if they ever want to become big. This of course brings up the discourse of if they should even go professional at all. Maho goes to Cafe Vinyl to ponder her thoughts, and when Airi sees her alone, approaches, and after chatting her up a bit, Airi learns about Happy Around's tension. Being the super nosy barmaid she is, she follows Maho to a nearby park to give a listening ear and provide some advice. It is here that she tips her hand of her identity and states that she doesn't want Happy Around to make the same mistake she did years ago. What is this mistake Airi is referring to? She reveals to Maho that she was once part of a DJ unit, which disbanded due to ideological differences. Two members of her unit wanted to go professional when she did not. Airi tries to encourage Maho in trusting her group, but there is implied regret in her tone. While stating that she believes she made the right choice, Airi wonders what could have been if she stayed with her unit. However, just like her students, retcons are incorporated into her backstory. This hypothetical is irrelevant when the audience is given Airi's story, because her leaving the DJ scene was an inevitability. Just before D4 Fest Remix, Groovy Mix released a 7th Road to D4 Fest 2 story named Call of Artemis. After 8 years of retirement, Airi meets with her former teammates, Photon Maiden's producer, Himegami Shano, D4 Fest's overly talkative MC, Kase Mana, and Shinobu's victory crusher, Takao Toka. They reminisce of their time as the instantly super popular DJ unit, Call of Artemis. They also go into detail of what went down in the breakup of their unit. What is revealed is that Shano was the one who wanted to go professional with their music, while Airi did not. However, unlike the vague exposition given to Maho, here the audience is given insight into why Airi thought this way. She states that going professional would interfere with her dream of one day singing on the same stage as her hero. Airi splits off from Call of Artemis and, with Mana following her, form a unit called Scarlet Canary, which is also short-lived. Remember when I mentioned that Airi directly inspired Happy Around when they were children? Well, it was during the time that Airi was in Scarlet Canary performing at a D4 Fest. It was during this D4 Fest that she reunited with Shano performing Wow War Tonight. Groovy Mix reveals that this is near the end of Airi's singing career, as not long later, Airi receives devastating news. Her hero met with and told her that she will never sing again, just before disappearing from Airi's life forever. This shocked Airi so much that she just stopped singing, ending Scarlet Canary's short-lived run. She reflects on how the reality of her hero's disappearance made her dream an impossibility, forcing her into an early retirement. Her disbelief of what happened made her believe that she would never sing again.
Airi? Airi? どうしたの? 出てきなさい. 何日引きこもってるつもり? ちょっと、お願いだから。いるんでしょ? アイリ? 返事して。返事しないと。部屋の扉、蹴破るわよ。ああ、やっぱりいたわね。心配したわよ。学校にも何日も出てこないし。ごめんなさい、ステージが。そんなことはどうでもいいから。お客さんには私が謝っといたから心配無用。それより、一体どうしちゃったの？ごめんなさい。私もう歌えない。何を歌ったらいいのかわからない。はあ？何って。あの人が、先輩が歌をやめちゃったの。え？先輩ってアイリが憧れてたっていう。もう二度と歌わない。もう歌えないって。私、そう言われて。私、もうどうしたらいいかわからなくなって。何もわからなくなって。マナ？私、これから何を目指せばいいの？アイリー。
Airi continues that after ending her Scarlet Canary activities, she fell into depression. Finding strength to go for a walk one day, she wandered around, wrestling with her confusion, until she ended up at Cafe Vinyl. She is quickly offered a barista job, allowing her to stay connected to the musical world. Airi clearly didn't need that much space from her musical trauma, as she states that not long after she was hired, she used the cafe's basement for a teaching side gig for singers. She subconsciously couldn't let go of singing, as not only does she not do a very good job at laying low, but she imparts to her students the same philosophy that caused her to retire in the first place. In Days Before, Days After, Rondo's Tsubaki reflects on Airi's words of understanding what it means to sing. Someday, you'll understand how it feels to want to sing for somebody. Just find that somebody. From Tsubaki's perspective, this is supposed to give hope when she felt that she would not be a vocalist after her high school rejection. She just needs to find the right people, which she did. However, from Airi's perspective, why would she give anyone this advice? Days Before, Days After's flashback takes place a maximum of 4 years prior to the first D4 Fest, which turns out to be a minimum of 4 years since Airi quit her singing career. That means she had a lot of time to settle on the fact that she had no one to sing for, and thus no reason to restart her singing career. Returning to Road to D4 Fest 2, Call of Artemis, the other members goad each other into revealing their reasons why they want to reform the unit. Toka reveals that having their talent together would motivate her to write and DJ better. Mana is more casual in wanting to spend time with her closest friends, despite being away for so long. Shano reveals that she wants to turn herself into a tangible target for Photon Maiden to keep striving towards as musicians. Shano's competitive purposes to push Photon Maiden takes Airi aback as she considers the possibility that their presence as Call of Artemis would demoralize younger DJs and cause others to quit music like she did. Considering that she first-handedly witnessed strife within Happy Around, where the possibility of disbanding was a potential reality, Airi would naturally feel scared to play a part in directly affecting the main D4DJ cast this way. Needing to get up and get some air, Airi leaves the meeting and ponders if she really should return to the DJ unit scene. While she thinks that Call of Artemis' presence would intimidate other units, she realizes that there is truth in Shano's words. While Shano is confident in Photon Maiden's conviction to push through 4 challenges, Airi is concerned that the other units, especially Happy Around, are not as resilient. With every unit realizing that the world of DJ music is a big place, do they need the guidance of older legends to inspire them moving forward? Looking into herself, Airi believes that Shano is wrong about the next generation and that they do not need to revive the past. She declines Mana's proposition, returning to the simple life working at Cafe Vinyl. D4DJ All Mix tells the story of the 6 original units banding together to help restore a particular section of Tokyo. They achieve this with a large series of live performances that they call Operation Beckoning Cat, 6 Colors Party. Throughout the anime, each unit builds upon each other to find ways to improve as DJ units, finding new styles, introducing duo team-ups, crafting new songs, and making Operation Beckoning Cat a massive success. While all of this is happening, Airi stands on the sidelines, watching all of this unfold. While there is the occasional tutoring to Tsubaki, she is content that her fears were completely unfounded and that reforming Call of Artemis was unnecessary. The younger units are more than capable of growing on their own without her intervention, and she can comfortably continue as Cafe Vinyl's barista. At least, that is how events play out in this timeline. Needing to get up and get some air, Airi leaves the meeting and ponders if she really should return to the DJ unit scene. While she thinks that Call of Artemis' presence would intimidate other units, she realizes that there is truth in Shano's words. While Shano is confident in Photon Maiden's conviction to push through 4 challenges, Airi is concerned that the other units, especially Happy Around, are not as resilient. With every unit realizing that the world of DJ music is a big place, do they need the guidance of older legends to inspire them moving forward? Looking into herself, Airi believes that Shano is right about the next generation, and that they need to be proactive in raising the future. Airi realized that she could no longer sit on the sidelines, fearing regret if her inaction led others to stagnation. She accepts Mana's proposition, reforming Call of Artemis, putting her words into practice as she now has a new generation of DJ units to sing for. While Call of Artemis' resurrection was blowing up on social media, they do not actually make their debut until the second D4 Fest. During D4 Fest Remix, Call of Artemis, after meeting with some of the other units, are pleasantly surprised of how confident their juniors are. However, Call of Artemis came to D4 Fest to remind the world what they're made of, by handily defeating Piki in their head-to-head performance. This victory ensures their place as inspirational role models for the other DJ units to set as a goal to rise to. Just as quickly as Call of Artemis swept the spotlight from beneath everyone's feet, they disappear into obscurity without a trace. It felt like a fever dream that the legendary Call of Artemis reclaimed the D4 Fest crown, as no one thinks to consider them accepting foreign challenges to the Japanese units. So, what happened to the goddesses during D4DJ's Abyssal Hour? The member card story, Why Did I Go on Stage?, reveals that Call of Artemis went to a remote island outside of Japan in order to hone their skills through developing new music. Upon arrival, while the rest of the group is getting settled into their accommodations, Airi sneaks off on her own to enjoy some scenery. Mana finds her deep in thought about the immediate consequences of her return. While they talk, Mana asks Airi why she sings now after her hero has been gone for so long. Airi restates on how she wants to be an inspiration to the younger generation, like Happy Around and Piki. In addition, Airi wants to follow her own principles on having someone to sing for. Knowing that there is a world out there that longed for the return of her unit, she knows that singing for the masses gives her purpose. But there is something missing in Airi's conviction. She told Kyoko and Tsubaki that there is something special that brings out the best in oneself when they have someone to sing for. While singing for the masses is an honorable reason, she needs to find that special someone to sing for.
昔話のついでに一つ聞きたいことがあるんだけど、いい？アイリの憧れの人はもういない。今のアイリが歌おうって決めた理由って何？それはいろいろよ。まずはみんなのアルテミスのため。この4人で最高のステージを作っていきたい。そして次の世代のため。あの子たちに、リンクちゃんたちに胸を張れる存在でありたい。憧れの存在、超えるべきライバルでありたい。それに何より、私たちを待ってくれていたファンに歌を届けたい。たとえ一人でも私たちを応援してくれる人がいるなら、その人たちのために私はまた歌おうって思えたの。
Voice of a Goddess, Sing for You begins with Call of Artemis returning to Japan. They learn that they missed an entire volume of Groovy Mix's narrative and need to get caught up. While watching some videos of the up-and-coming Unicorn, Airi notices something peculiar about their lead vocalist, Ichihashi Lumina. When invited to Yoba Academy to arrange a live show there, Airi takes the opportunity to investigate Lumina, hoping to confirm some suspicions about her identity. This results in the big plot reveal, which is the fact that this hero Airi looked up to for all these years was none other than Aria Nova. Not only does this moment give a name to a vital person in Airi's backstory, it also gives her an instant intimate connection with Abyssmare and Unicord. Even after Michiru spills the beans that Lumina is not even human, let alone Aria, Airi is not shaken in her suspicions. Lumina decides to have a private conversation with Airi to set the record straight with a little trade-off. Knowledge of how each of them are connected to Aria. Airi gives an in-depth origin of how she met her hero, idolizing her with the added detail that Aria treated her like family. This pseudo-familial bond between them was so strong that Airi connects to Aria's psychology better than Lumina. despite the latter having her essence, as Airi points out. Lumina's desire to become more like Arya would have her meet with Airi at later times to learn more about Arya's personality in order to incorporate them into her programming. Lumina becomes more sensitive to others as a direct result of Airi's influence. In the Something Too Early for Humanity member card story, Lumina comments on how she likes hanging out with Airi because she's not a kid like the Unicorn members. Airi retorts by telling her not to be so blunt with her words. Lumina is quick to take Airi's advice on how to behave, seeing the latter as an authority on all things Arya. This includes Airi's discourse on how Arya's frequent encouragements allowed her to build confidence as a singer. Airi then asks Lumina for a favor, to be a model for her drawing. Lumina entertains the idea, as maybe she can incorporate more of Arya's personality into her programming by boosting Airi's confidence. Airi states that Lumina's desire to support her reminds her of Arya's words, believing that Lumina is closer to Arya than she thinks. However, this is backpedaled when Airi gives a less than impressive drawing, forcing Lumina to hold back her Dr. Nova instincts. She humorously utilizes Airi's advice on not being so blunt by giving a roundabout reason not to show other people her drawing. Something Too Early for Humanity reveals that Airi's connection to Arya's psychology is deeper than disciplinary words or even programming. In past stories like Days Before, Days After, or Road to D4 Fest 2 Happy Around, her ability to give advice and encouragement is more than her being nice, but it is her imitating her hero. The interesting contrast here is that no matter how much Lumina is influenced by Airi, she cannot be Arya's successor. I stated in the Programming Personhood video that Lumina moved back and forth between her Arya and Dr. Nova programmings. What I concluded in that video is that Lumina ended up gravitating toward her Dr. Nova program, accepting that she takes after her old man, and unlike Neo, views it as a good thing. This actually works better for Neo, because Lumina is a stand-in for their father to help along Neo's needed recovery from her daddy issues. This includes Neo's programming of Become Arya. But if Lumina is Dr. Nova's stand-in, then who is Arya's stand-in? Returning to Voice of a Goddess, Sing for You, Lumina reveals to Airi that Abyssmere's Neo is Arya's daughter. Airi is surprised by this revelation, which is weird because she should know who Neo is. For starters, she already knows that Arya has a child. She mentions that she received letters from her hero, which became less frequent after Neo was born. Speaking of which, wouldn't Arya have disclosed that her daughter's name was Neo? Even if she didn't, when Call of Artemis was getting caught up on Side Nova, why didn't Airi suspect anything from Neo, considering that she looks and sounds like Arya? While Neo looking like Arya is a bit speculative on my part, there is something to how Neo sounds like Arya. After Airi discloses her conversation with Lumina to Call of Artemis, Mana mentions that Neo and Arya do actually sound similar. Airi points out there is a huge difference in their singing despite the fact that Neo possesses similar talent. She states that Arya sang with a kindness in her tone, while Neo sings with a forceful tone, reflecting the hard life that she must have had. Stating that they are opposites this way shows how far Neo is from Arya's legacy. However, these revelations give Airi something that she has searched for years. Back in Why Did I Go on Stage? Airi states that she sings for the future generation of DJ units. While Happy Around first sparked Airi's desire to return to singing, her statement here is more abstract as she spoke in general terms. However, learning that Neo is Aria's daughter has truly brought that conviction close to her heart. Now it becomes personal. Shano points out that Airi will eventually have to fight Neo and asks if she's okay with that. Which is funny because Airi had no qualms taking Kyoko's crown. Airi responds that this actually gives her hope because even though the original person she sang for is gone, she has found someone new to give her voice to sing for. She declares here that she will act as someone for Neo to aspire to, just like Aria did for her. While Mana breaks the tension with some humor, Shano notices a change inside Airi. What is the difference between an adult and a child? An adult takes on responsibility. This lesson is an important one to teach to future generations, which is why there are so many teenage heroes coming of age stories. From Spider-Man to Harry Potter to Full Metal Alchemist to One Piece. I know I made fun of Tsubaki's tendency to overthink things, leading her to run away from her problems, but Airi has been running away for 8 years. However, knowing that her hero has a living blood relative, she has accepted the responsibility of caring for Neo by carrying Aria's legacy and being that tangible aspiration for Neo by becoming the Aria figure in the story. For Airi to take this position over Lumina says a lot. Knowing that Lumina is the inheritor of Aria's voice, that duty should naturally fall upon her. However, Voice of a Goddess, Sing for You not only gave fans some Call of Artemis content, it served to initiate Lumina's character development, which plays out in Crossbeat. This works out for the better, as Airi provides an elevated goal for Neo to reach, raising the tension for the battle of succession.
Neo-san.
なんだ?
あなたが今目指しているものは何?
私が目指しているもの?
ええ。あなたが何のために歌っているのか、それを教えてくれる?
私が目指すのは、アビスメアを世界一のユニットにすることだ。他に何がある?
そう。それなら、本当の世界一を知りなさい。
アイリ、世界一を知るだと?
あなたが世界一になるためには、自分の現在地を知らなければならない。今日のステージがその手助けになるかもしれないわ。決して目を離さないで。アイリー、ちょっと待ってよ。
The story ends with Call of Artemis performing at Yoba Academy. But just before that, Abyssmare approaches to passive-aggressively challenge them. In the midst of the smack talk, Airi effectively asks Neo, "Why do you sing?" Here, Airi is pulling Neo to the start of her journey in becoming Aria's successor, like Neo was meant to be. However, instead of being pushed by a father in need of redemption, she is led by an older sister who understands their mother. While Lumina has the essence and Neo has the talent, it is Airi who has the heart of Aria, which is what Neo needs to pursue her destiny. It is this dynamic that restored Airi with a new sense of purpose. No longer on the sidelines, but the Scarlet Canary calling her special someone out of the abyss and into the starry song.
先輩見てくれてる？歌は感動を与えることが大事。私にそう教えてくれたこと、守れてるかな？先輩のようになりたくて、近づきたくて、私必死に頑張ったよ。だからいつかそっちへ行った時には褒めてよね。それまで私歌い続けるから。